Okay guys, just going to briefly show you one of the latest action figures I picked up. It's the unlicensed 1/6 scale collectible figure of Anton Chigurh, that's played by Javier Bardem in the movie No Country for Old Men. So as I say, yeah, it's an unlicensed figure. The maker is called Star Toys. And yeah, just interestingly, I just opened it up now, and the corners of the box were protected by these little plastic things, so so there was no dinks on the because quite a few times, like the occupational hazard of a collector is to get little dinks on the side during transport of these figures, but it looks as if these little hard plastic things just put on the corner have done their job well. So yeah, that's quite a neat idea for someone to do that. So yeah, I'll just give you a brief overview of the figure. I'll just weighed the box up here. You can see it's just over a kilo in weight, 1.164. It's 36 centimeters long, with a width of 20 centimeters and depth of 9 centimeters, so it's quite a compact package all in all. It's fairly weighty for kind of like a smaller figure, well, a smaller box figure, so it's just a standard shoebox design really. So just get that, and so it's just got a little magnetic tab there. Flip it over like that. Just get some foam to protect the figure a bit more. And then there's the figure, just straight out of the box. So as you can see, a reasonable likeness to Javier Bardem, as Anton Chigurh, of course. The clothing feels fairly decent, nothing spectacular, but you know, it serves its purpose. You get the obviously the cowboy boots. Looks like another pair of trousers there, and here's the second head sculpt, the laughing head sculpt, the maniacal laugh, which you may want to display as well. I'm not completely sure, but this head sculpt might be based off of the Rain Man head sculpt from a few years ago. The customizer Rain Man made an Anton Chigurh figure from No Country for Old Men quite a few years ago, and yeah, I'm not 100% sure I never owned that figure, but yeah, yeah, all in all, just straight out of the box, it looks pretty decent. So you know, let's get everything that it comes with out of the box, and I'll just display it by the figure. Okay guys, so let's just look at the figure out of the box. Pretty decent looking. It does come with a stand and all that, but obviously because it's an unlicensed figure, there's no graphic or anything on that. So you know, there are places online where you can get like custom decals and all that. So that might be an option. Just put the custom decal on the base like that. I would say the base is and the stand is probably necessary because he does have difficulty standing up. Probably mostly to do with the boot design. They look pretty nice, the boots and all that, but obviously they do hinder his ability to stand up straight. You can get him standing up straight without the use of like a crotch grabber and all that, but it is a bit difficult because it's like an all-in-one piece boot, and it's quite rigid plastic, so there's not much give in it and all that. So yeah, the figure will have difficulty standing on its own. So probably a display base with a crotch grabber is your best bet. Let's look at the secondary head sculpt, which is always nice. Obviously the maniacal smile grin on his face. I think I prefer the more neutral sculpt. I think that captures Javier Bardem's look, that kind of like deadpan, emotionless look from the movie pretty well in that look. And then you get the option of the second pair of trousers, red, a little belt, quite quite nicely done. The selection of hands, it's quite a nice selection. They look pretty decent as well. For third party, sometimes the hands can be a little bit hit and miss. They're a bit sort of like smooth looking, which you know, is a bit of a trademark of third party companies. But yeah, they pretty much come with all the expressions that you want. You know, the trigger, hands. I think that would look good for the little captive bolt weapon that he uses quite notably throughout the film. You know, to execute one person and to blow locks in, so you can have him holding that just like that, and the bolt part in his other hand. And then obviously he comes with the iconic weapon, the silent shotgun, which is all plastic. All the accessories are plastic apart from the cuffs that are metal. Looks pretty decent, the shotgun with the customised suppressor. It would have been nice if I think you could just even just colour that black, that middle bit, to make it look a little bit more authentic. You could bore it out a little bit if you really wanted, but yeah, I think I might just you know, use a felt tip and colour it black so it looks a little bit more authentic there. But yeah, pretty much what you'd expect from you know, a third party company, not a major company and all that. And yeah, it's pretty nice all in all. As I say, it's got issues with standing unassisted, but that's you know, a consequence of the boot and all that. The body feels pretty good actually. If I just test the joints out briefly. Yeah, so it's got ratchet joints in the arms, so it'll have no problem at all holding a pose. Pretty stiff, but I'd rather that than it be really loose. Decent movement in the leg, double jointed at the knee, so you can get some good poses that way. The double jointedness in the leg. It's got fairly decent ankle pivot, but as I say, those boots are going to be a hindrance for you posing wise. So as I say, I would recommend you know, going for placing this figure on a base with a crotch grabber, because he is liable to fall over of his own accord because of his balance issues. So yeah, as long as you've got him on a base. I know not all collectors like displaying their figures on a base. You know, sometimes it's size constraints and all that. Look at the tailoring is pretty nice all in all. It's not real top-notch stuff, but as I say, this is like a cheaper unlicensed figure, so you've got to expect a little bit of a reduction in quality. But you know, all in all, it's going to look great in your detolf or on your shelf or whatever. And as I say, that head sculpt, I'm not 100% sure. It might be a recast, as I say, from a Rayman figure. Rayman released a No Country for Old Men figure some years ago, custom figure. And yeah, it might be a recast, I'm not 100% sure, but as I say, the sculpts look really nice. And yeah, I think you'll be generally quite satisfied when you get this figure out of the box. And you know, I'll just pose him up in a pose to make him you know, pop a little bit more. So yeah. Okay, so here's one particular look you might want to go for. Obviously with the captive bolt device in his hand, which is you know, used quite extensively throughout the movie in many key roles and all that, so that's quite kind of a neat look. As I say, I put that hand on, the hand swaps are pretty easy, no problem there, and quite tightly on there. And yeah, as I say, I mean, you can do more futzing with this figure and all that. You know, straight out of the box, they don't look their best and all that, but you know, with a little bit of, you know, care, attention, and a little bit of futzing, you can make your figures look, you know, a lot better than how they do out of the box. So as I say, this is just out of the box. As I say, the only issue really is the standing issue, what with the boots and all that. And yeah, I would recommend you putting this figure on a figure stand for the time being. Otherwise you're going to have a lot of you know, bumps in the night and all that with the figure falling over. So yeah, that's kind of like neat look. Okay guys, and there he is, just holding his other main weapon, the suppressed shotgun, of course. And yeah, overall I think the general collector would be pretty happy with purchase of this. I actually ordered this figure probably over a year ago. I totally forgot that I'd ordered it, and I got an email last week telling me that the figure was ready. So that sometimes happens. It's a long time between pre-ordering of figures and them actually arriving. So yeah, as I say, I pre-ordered this figure well over a year ago. I totally forgot that I'd ordered it, and yeah, just had to pay the balance. And yeah, it got delivered in you know, 4 or 5 days from Hong Kong. 1/6 kit is where I bought it from. I've seen some available on eBay as well. Just type in Star Toys. What's it called again? Yeah, Killer Anton, and yeah, it should pop up and all that. But yeah, overall, yeah, fairly happy with how the figure looks, and yeah, I think the head sculpt is really well done. As I say, it may well be a recast from one of Rayman's figures. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, you know, nothing spectacular out of this world, but certainly you know, a good looking figure to put on your shelf from, you know, pretty iconic film and all that. You know, No Country for Old Men. You know, probably one of the like modern crime thriller classics. I think 2006-07 it came out. So yeah, it's 13-14 years old now, that film. But yeah, Javier Bardem played a really good role of Anton Chigurh. Yeah, like a psychopathic criminal. So yeah, just stick the old laughing head sculpt on. You know, it's a look that you can go for. I think I'll go for the you know, just the original look. You know, the blank expression look, really. I think that pretty well fits the figure, how he looked in that film. So yeah, as I say, there's the smiling head sculpt. And as I say, it is kind of like fine art getting you know, the expressive head sculpts to look right on 1/6 figures for whatever reason. And yeah, it's kind of like a decent look and all that, but I don't think I'll be sticking with it. But it's nice that they always like it when they companies offer a secondary head sculpt. It's something that Hot Toys used to do quite a bit, but they haven't in recent times. But yeah, it's a decent alternative. But as I say, I think I'll be sticking with the original head sculpt, because, you know, I think that's you know, looks fairly decent and all that. And the paint app is, you know, it's not anything out of this world, but certainly for a third party, it's you know, more than acceptable. And you know, there's instant recognising who the figure is of and all that. So yeah, all in all, yeah, pretty impressive set, and yeah, glad that I picked it up. Guys, so here's just the figure in his natural environment, the detail, of course, and yeah, just got him posed up. So I'll probably leave him. Got the collars down. Finally, I think that's the correct look. And oh yeah, just a word about the buttons. They're all stuck on there pretty well, but the glue that they use notoriously poor, and it goes off after a while. I didn't see any spare buttons in there, so just be mindful of that, guys, that the buttons might drop off from time to time. So just keep an eye out for that. But yeah, there's just look at the figure. I'll just put him up against a couple of other figures, show you the sort of height of the figure. So there he is against my DX Terminator figure, Hot Toys. As you can see, he's a little bit shorter. Yeah, I think Javier Bardem is maybe just over 6 foot, and Arnie was always meant to be, you know, 6'2" or something like that. So yeah, I think that looks about right. So he's not a massive figure. The Javier Bardem figure here, but you know, he's not small either. And as you can see, it's just a bit shorter than the Arnie figure there. And here the figures standing up to my Marty McFly figure, Back to the Future. And as you can see, the Anton figure is a good bit taller, which you'd expect. So yeah, proportion wise, I think it's just about perfect really. So yeah, all in all, pretty happy that I got the figure and all that. And yeah, I think if you were to get it, you wouldn't be too disappointed. So yeah, thanks for watching that, guys.